I'm Dr. Beth Harris with Dr. Steven Zucker, and we are the Deans of Smart History, an interactive educational site of art history on the interwebs. We have over 500 videos of art analysis, and
oh yes, I'm very prestigious, winning the Whammy Award, an Open Course Award. Oh, a Grammy. Oh, Time Magazine did an article on my excellence. I'm like the Kim Kardashian of art history, but I'm a little old historian, not used to this limelight.
well then, today we'll be discussing the reoccurring prominence of the eyes through historical art.
Oh yes, shall we? Let's begin with the statues of votive figures.
From the Temple of Ashuna, Iraq, an ancient Sumerian art in 2700 BCE. These pieces were made out of gypsum with shell and limestone found in buried temples. So
their eyes, as we can see, are enlarged to give off an eerily yet cute appeal.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Early dynastic figures within this region have their individual interpretations of human eyes. So within this region, big eyes were common in figures. Their eyes allow the doll to observe the grace and divinity in the temple.
Agreed. The largest collection of these beauties were found in a Nippur temple dedicated to Ainana, goddess of abundance.
Abundant figures in the temple of abundance.
Moving on to the Egyptian period, we see the eyes were turned to the side. It was more common for Egyptian art to display people in profile. For example, Akhenaten, Nefertiti, and 3 daughters.
Ah, yes, the smooth, fastidious, sunken relief carving of the limestone that displays Nefertiti, Akhenaten, and their 3 daughters, as well as the Aten, the sun god. This was during the Amarna period, where portions were elongated. Even the eyes have stretched football-like appeal.
Ah, yes. It is rumored that Akhenaten was diagnosed with Marfan's syndrome, sunken chest, heart difficulties, and dislocated lens of the eyes.
Yes, you must consider also the ethnicity that allows the Egyptian eyes to be more football-like. The eyes of the time were pivoted to be more appealing, and the model similarly to the eye of Horus or Ra. These eyes stood for protection, wealth, and power. The ears are on a plane but less stylized. The lips are horizontal and no longer on a plane. The eyes are smaller and more rounded.
Yes! Skipping to the Tania Volomandra group and the Melos group, we find ourselves in the Anavisos Spittoon group in 540 BCE to 520.
There's
been
the
tangible
Greek
evidence.
sculptures.
The definition of the Greek.
Oh, you go.
So, the Archaic period featured an evolution of Koros physical shapes that would affect the shape of the eye in these sculptures. It would show us the ancient Greeks' interpretation of the eyes.
Beginning in the Sounion group in 615 BCE, this is the period focused on the abstract geometrical shapes. Lips are triangular, eyes are carved in one plane, flat skulls with flat torso parts. The eyes are so much more curvaceous and very large. In the Archomenos Thera group in 590 BCE, we see features that are less stylized and geometric, less thick.
The head is spherical, the hair descends, the body is smooth, the eyes are large and symmetrical. It shows no emotion in the eyes and face, almost dead. The evolution of the Koros was rendered the eyes round, less stylized than the Sonion period or the Thera period. The Greeks wanted to be more realistic and yet keep the beauty of the Koros body.
In Byzantine art, we see eyes are also very abicular. In Virgin and Child between Saints and Theodore and George, a 6th century piece made of encaustic on wood, we see great examples of the large, almost cartoon-like eyes. In it,
Mary is almost averting our gaze. But we see that in several Byzantine art. Even baby Jesus has this man-like careless face with averting eyes. Both saints stare at the viewer with passive eyes.
Exactly. All figure eyes are outlined in dark to create a bold effect. Symmetry was cherished in this piece with the halos, the facial features, the positions. The eyes stress this focus greatly.
We also begin to recognize the eyes of men above, how they're looking upward, as if observing the works of God in heaven. Beth?
Huh?
Beth?
Oh, yes. Fast forward a handful of decades, and we come upon a great work of Giotto, who's known for his unique interpretation of the human eye. In the Scrovini Arena Chapel, built in 1303 CE and painted in 1305 CE, the angels and the people depicted in the scenes of Jesus' birth and death feature slit-like eyes.
Quite an interesting concept, considering that no other artist during this time had similar paintings of the eye, so we can only assume that it wasn't due to cultural influence, but due to artist preference.
Yes, the eyes had a way of showing the rawness of human emotion. In contrast to works previously like the Koros or the Byzantine art, which didn't show much emotion, these paintings were less realistic and less humanoid, which allowed the eyes to blend in.
Oh, the work of de Bodone, though unique, is very similar to the works of later painters and artists like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel or Masaccio's Madonna and Child. However, I find Giotto's depiction of Christianity to be the greatest.
We begin to notice the
attention to detail of the eye.
That's it.
Beth?
Grammy Award, my ass.
So, that's about it.